Whether I'm wrong, I'll find a place in this world that I belong. I've got to be me. Hey, here it goes. This episode here, we're going to talk about the TV series called The Neighborhood and how they're talking about proton blockchain and metal or proton network. And this particular episode is called Welcome to the Splurge. Let's get the definition of splurge. Give me just a moment. The definition of splurge. See what we got here. Where are we? Splurge. Let's look at this. It says splurge. To splurge means to spend money extravagantly or indulge oneself in a luxurious or excessive manner. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to the people of this show. I love watching this show. And a shout out to Crypto Bully Bear. People may laugh at him, but he's always brave enough to set a date. And everyone knows that's something hard to do because they're watching these things like we are. They are human beings too, so they can change it at any whim. But ultimately, he knows that he is correct, and he's going to enjoy himself and be able to splurge if he so chooses. Shout out to him for being brave enough to do that. And to those people that laugh at him, what are you doing? Okay, we're going to go over this. We're talking about the TV series The Neighborhood. This family here, they're called the Butlers, and they're watching their neighborhood become gentrified. But instead of being sad about it, they decide to do something about it and better themselves and to take advantage of the opportunity. Let me go over here. We said their names are the Butlers. Let's get that ready over here. The names are the Butlers. I'm gonna start playing on this episode so we can see. Let me turn down the sound here. I'm gonna pause it right there. What do we see here? We see right there in the center is the proton symbol. And I'm gonna let it play a little bit more so we can see what it's sitting next to. And it scrolls on down here, right here. It's sitting right next to a chessboard because Marshall Haynard has been playing chess very intelligently, making moves that most people are not aware of. And in the background over here, we see the Proton Rocket right over here. We see the Proton Rocket, and that rocket stands for proton. It certainly does. And inside there is a little metal man. We're going to go further and let it play. In walks the brother. This is Marty. Oh, wow. Look at the colors that my buddy Crypto Bully Bear just broke down the other day. He says this stands for Doge. And look at his arms and the proton colors. And also he's wearing a phoenix on his arms. Look at the forgive me for that. The XPR colors here, the proton colors. And look what he's wearing as he sits down. Look at his collar too. What are the odds that these two men are matching? Okay, now watch. When he sits down here at his desk, I'm gonna go over this. Now this man here is Marty Butler. He is an aerospace engineer and he works at NASA. Okay, let's go over this. He is an aerospace engineer who works at NASA. And I just told you the family name is Butler. What does Butler have to have an association with NASA? Butler, aerospace and defense. Thank you to my Uncle James, who was a decoder at NASA. Now here, there's some project that they work on. I wonder what that project is called. Okay, matter of fact, right here on his desk right there on his desk is an astronaut, if you can see that. That's this fellow right here. Guy Bluford. It says first African American in space. But that's who's on his desk. But if you look closely, they have purplerized the collar and made it purple. We're gonna go further. See the Proton Rocket again? Let's go further here. Now this man on the show, he always is the person they go to for the hookup. He always hooks everybody up with things. He always has connections. We're gonna go further with this. Whoa, what's that on the blinds right here, on the curtains? Could this be, let me go and look this up really fast. I think that this, I'll let you look it up for yourself, but this is the loan symbol, and it's just stacked. Look very closely. That is the loan symbol. You can go look that up for yourself. That's the loan symbol. We're going to go further. Okay, let's go over here. It says, the Butler Aerospace study of Proton. Give me just a moment. It says, the Butler Aerospace Proton Rocket is a launch vehicle developed by Butler Aerospace for delivering payloads in space. It says for delivering payloads in space. Payloads. Let's go further than that. Okay. It says, the Butler Aerospace Proton Rocket is a launch vehicle developed by Butler Aerospace for delivering payloads into space. It says payloads refer to the amount of money or value that is being transported or carried typically in the context of a vehicle or transportation system. Now, when I say that proton is the money, I'll be more specific when I say this and say that proton is the propulsion system of the money, liquidity, the movement of the money, digital money at extraordinary speeds 24 hours a day globally. Proton equals rocket fuel. The Proton rocket carries government and commercial payloads. We go over here, it says, let's get the definition of splurge. I told you, to splurge means to spend money extravagantly or indulge oneself in a luxurious or excessive manner. Loans would allow you to do that if you so chose. And this is a debt-based system that we have been operating in. Marshall says that he's going to bring clarity, transparency to the banking system. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The reason I say that is because I really feel you don't really have much of an option. I told you this on maybe a year or so ago on one of my videos. I said that people who are shouting out, talking about how much digital assets they have, or just even having a channel makes you a target. And Marshall Hayner says very specifically in a video, he talks about maybe someone tying you up and using the old wrench method and coming to take your crypto. I tell you that everyone can look into your wallet. That's the era that we live in. If you send someone something, they can look into your wallet. So you have to trust humanity. And he says, what if your wildest dreams come true and you became wealthy beyond measure? What are you going to do with that finance? Are you going to keep it in a safe at your home? Are you going to keep it underneath your mattress? Those keys. And he said, someone could just tie you up and use the old wrench method and beat it out of you. He says, you're going to have to, for your security, use a bank. I hate to say it, but it's somewhat true. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you the truth about the system that they're putting in place. Like he tells you on one video, he says they can't see exactly what's in a wallet, but they can see how much flows to it and say, well, we can designate that this is a casino. And he says in the future, and he mentions this, if it's not a part of the system that they have in place, how are you going to spend that money? How are you going to be able to use it? Because it won't be able to connect to a system. He mentions Monero specifically and says it won't have the credentials to meet what needs to be done through KYC of the other systems. So you won't be able to spend that money. They don't have to know what's in there, but they can just know you're not a part of their networking system. So if there's no other systems in place, that means you just have a dead wallet. And I'm going to tell you again, if you think you're going to buy any of these digital assets, which are programmable, and drop them in another wallet, as soon as you drop that token in that wallet, if it is compatible, it will see what's in that wallet. It can see everything. That's why it goes in there. If it drops in there, it will tell you that you're not operating within the jurisdiction. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm giving you the heads up and the warning so that you can make an intelligent decision. Few people are here to get this opportunity. Take advantage of this opportunity like the Butlers did so you can prosper. In this time where something, where we know the money is not fair to the people. Let's go over here. Let's see what we got here. Give me just a moment. Give me just a moment. I think I pretty much have gone over that, but let's look at this. Look at NASA. Look at NASA here. I'm talking about protons everywhere, but where do we test in the U.S.? These are talking about the Proton Rocket. The Proton Rocket. Like I just showed you this photograph here. Right over here. That's the Proton Rocket. And it's getting ready to take off very soon. You can believe it or not, but I'm giving you the data as it stands. Like I said, what are the odds that these two men are wearing these same colors with the lone symbol here, with this rocket here? If you go to Crypto Lycan, Lycan as in a werewolf, if you go to Crypto Lycan's channel, you can see him do a decode about a cartoon. And as the Rocket Man there, the ship looks exactly the same if you ask me. The first rocket was called Proton M, and it was Russian. M, right here on this desk, you find M on this cup here. I think that M stands for metal, blockchain, and Marshall. So you do with what you want to do with it. I appreciate everyone in the room. Please do your own research. I'm not giving you any financial advice. It is up to you to be prudent enough to know what you are going to do with your money. If you are making decisions based off of decodes, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Well, I do, because that's me, because I know they speak to us through signs and symbols. But again, do your research. Thank you for showing up today. I value every one of you all. Thank you for the compliment. And everyone for always showing up for me, for having my back, for showing me respect and gratitude. I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you for being here. And have a good day to all of the human family.